All right, I think I'm live on YouTube. We were rocking and rolling there. And now we're waiting for 8 o'clock to roll around. I went in a little early, apparently. And I guess my clocks have changed a little bit. I usually go a few minutes early on YouTube. There we go. There's 8 o'clock rolling. So let's go live. All right, so I'm up on YouTube, and I'm trying to get Facebook Live Director rolling. Usually takes a few seconds. Looks like we just about have it. I do believe we're there. Alrighty, I think I'm rocking and rolling live on both Facebook and YouTube. Welcome, everybody. The usual. I no longer can see you guys if you join, so be sure and say hey. Drop me a comment. I don't know you're here unless you drop me a comment. Feel free to chime in with any questions or comments that you have, and I'll try to address anything that you have. And we'll rock and roll from there. Jeremy Coleman, what's up? Tony Stewart, what's up? Got our first 2 check-ins rocking and rolling already. Charlie Lingerfeld. We'll just kind of do a few check-ins here, and I'll kind of chill, give a couple minutes, and then I'll dive into things. Christopher Ray Trammell, what's happening, big dog? You know, just hanging out, doing a live show, riding bikes, drinking some drinks. So while we're doing that, I'll go ahead and get this up. Stephen Cordes, what's up? Stephen Cordes, are you back in Oklahoma? I figure you probably are at this point. There we go. Get a little natter day, a little natty light, strawberry lemonade, good stuff. Jeremy Coleman, Crane and the kids watching on YouTube on the big TV. Nice. So you got to set up. That's kind of my setup. I have 2 screens. I have 2 big, I've got a 50-inch, and then I've got I don't know what this was, like a 46. I've got 2 because this is kind of my office now too. So yeah, so I have a computer. I have a computer hooked up to my TVs. I don't really have cable. So I have my 2 big screens as well too. I guess I could probably turn around and show you. Couldn't I? Probably just do that. Now this is can't pull the screen too far. Yeah, that's my setup right there. So I kind of got one chilling in the floor here a little bit, and then I here. So that's what I'm looking at when you guys are looking at me. So this is kind of my office. Aaron King, what's up? Steve and Cordes for the moment. Yeah, all right. We need a ride while you're here for the moment before you head back to CO. Herb Brown, you know what? Got a little natty light. I actually like the natty light. You know, I drank a couple I drank some Fat Tire, and I drank some what was that? Hazy something or other IPA. It's pretty solid. Oh, Stephen Cordes, don't get me started. Soon? When am I ready to head out there? Soon? Now it's perfect because it's like 1,000 degrees in Oklahoma. So Jeremy Black and Jennifer Black checked in one after another. What's happening? David Copeland, what's happening? Darren Hall, Terry's Bikes, Lawton, Oklahoma. Alrighty, let's get started. Got several people checking in, and you guys feel free to comment. If you check in and want to say something, be sure and let me know that you're here, and I'll give you a shout out. Well, John Denton, of course. John Denton says, "Dude, you drink anything?" Yeah. I mean, how long have you known me? Hi back at you, Hannah Bagaski. Jeremy says, true, trying to ride is like riding in a sandy sauna, no doubt. I rode today at 4. I only had to do an hour. I did like an hour, almost an hour 10. It was okay, but whew, man. Yeah, you talk about some acclimation for sure. Oh, Herb Brown said you brought back a case of Yingling from Arkansas. Yeah, that's one of our faves. Our friend Katie McGuire turned us onto that. She's living in Austin now, and yeah, for sure, that's some good stuff. Daniel Lemons is in the house. Daniel from Wichita Falls. You're our first of the Texas crew to check in, Daniel. There you go, Tony, the skanky tank. You know what? I still got it. I thought I'd break it out. After today, it was so damn hot. So Trammell says, do absinthe one night. I don't even know what that is, Ray. But I do it just for you. Just for you, I do it. Bob Davis, glad you're here. Alrighty, I've got several topics. I started out with very few, and then I added a couple. Some won't take long, some will. I'm going to talk about OEF meeting, upcoming OEF meeting, a surprise schedule change that I think you guys will dig. A quick reminder, a review. I've talked about this before about USAC licenses, upgrading, and renewals. Little joke about my phone. I want to talk about what my thoughts are and what my preparations are and what my ideas are for the rest of the season, and where my thinking is at this point. Obviously, COVID is the number one issue that we all have to deal with, and that's something that I've been thinking about a lot and been talking with several of my board and my friends about it. And anyway, so I just want to lay out what my plan is for that. And then I just got a quick message as I was just fixing to get all signed in from a buddy at Enid, and they've got a little event going down there, and I want to talk about it as well too. So that's kind of my thing right now. So let's make sure I haven't missed anything here. Yeah, I'm solid. Okay. Got my notes. Let's see. Janelle Witt checked in and says Shelta is ready to try her new mountain bike. No more hybrid on the trails. Awesome. It was great meeting you guys. You can't. Janelle and Shelta came down when everything was kind of still somewhat normal, and we were doing pre-rides and a little beginners clinic for St. Crispin's. We did that for the first couple of races, and then of course, everything went to hell in a handbasket with COVID. And Janelle and Shelta were down, and Shelta was trying to ride her hybrid bike at St. Crispin's and did a great job, but just not quite the right bike. But now she has a mountain bike, so I'm stoked, and can't wait to see you out there riding the trail. So glad you guys checked in. Tony says absinthe is the meth or drinking. Yeah, probably, or the meth of drinking. Gotcha. Okay, so then maybe I don't need to do that. that might not be a good plan. I'm gonna have to Google that and find out exactly what that is. Albert Simons checked in. What's happening, Albert? I saw your fishing trip the other day. That was pretty wicked on the river. It looked like you guys pulled in some sweet catfish. GT Giorgito, what's happening? He says, "What's up, Wizard?" And "What's up, GT?" Back at you. Let's get going. OEF meeting. It's been I don't know. They've been kind of scattered, and I think they've got a block of meetings coming up. So the next public meeting is July the 2nd, 7 p.m. It's going to be at the Draper Trailhead. So they have several topics, and Shouldn't take very long. Should be fun. Bring your bike and get you a ride in when you're done, and be a blast. So definitely go check that out. Become involved. OEF is Oklahoma Earth Bike Fellowship. That is their goal is to do trail advocacy, and they handle and manage multiple trails, give advice to tons of different groups and organizations on trail building, trail development, everything related to that. And they do a wonderful job. And they're going to be meeting at Draper Trailhead July 2nd, 7 p.m. And there's posts out there already, so you guys will see they've got an event page. They've got it's listed on OEF and other pages as well too. So if you've ever thought about being involved, or you've ever questioned riding trails, conditions of trails, or things like that, instead of just talking about it on Facebook, why don't you become involved? Join OEF, or at least attend a meeting and find out what it's all about. So Ray Trammell says it's the LSD of drinking. I'm gonna have to do some research. We'll see what the drink options are for the next episode next week. That may be interesting. Bill Hannigan says, "Hey everyone, hey back at you, Will, Bill." Stephen Treaster's checking in for sure. What's up, and Stephen? Carolyn Fairless, howdy for me and my beer for my porch. Oh, that's a nice place to be. You know, I need to run cables. I mean, I've got a little deck on my porch now. I need to run cables and a light and do a show from out there. That's what I need to do. That's a good plan. Give me an idea there. Okay, so I want to go ahead and jump right into topic number 2, which is the main topic. It's not the main topic, but it's going to be kind of the surprising one. So last week I announced that Turkey Mountain, we were not going to have Turkey Mountain this year. There's a lot of factors. The COVID rates in Tulsa, the method for permitting is difficult because of all that's going on in Tulsa. And they were just concerned that they would have to invest a lot of money and then still have the chance they couldn't even get the race permitted, and time and effort and all of that. And so they've just decided, in lieu of everything that's happening, they didn't want to risk that. And that's totally understandable. And we had made that plan. And then I got a couple of messages from a friend, and I think you guys all know him. Christopher Ray Trammell, G3, Ray. And he said, you know, we've been working on this trail at Lake Liberty in Guthrie, and we've got a few miles. We've got a group that's working on it, and we've got all summer to get it dialed in and to get about 6.5 miles. What would you think about letting us take Turkey's spot? I tossed it out to my board, and they were receptive, assuming that things are okay at this point with COVID. Ray talked to the powers that be and talked to Justin Fortney. Justin is on the tourism area in Guthrie, and they have a solid group of people, and we all agreed, and we're going to now have a race on the same weekend as Turkey. So Turkey Mountain is not going to be there, but that October 4th date is now going to be, assuming that we can have it, Lake Liberty in Guthrie, Oklahoma. So thanks for Ray and Justin for stepping up and just throwing that out there as an option. I wasn't actively seeking a race for that weekend, and they just threw it out at me, and I was like, sounds good. For many of you, we've seen that a couple of times. We blazed through there during Land Run 3 years ago. Can't remember. And then one of the G3 races, we blazed through there. It's actually a pretty neat little place. It's isolated. There's plenty of places to park and camp. The lake is actually the lake's really nice. They are actively working on the trail. And I think it's going to be a good venue, especially considering the situation, because there's going to be plenty of space and plenty of open areas. So yeah, it's a work in progress, and we'll have more information as things play out and as it gets developed. And but yeah, this is all brand new. This all happened just this really over probably about 5 days. So anyway, cool. I mean, they've always had trails out there, but they've got a crew out there working now to really kind of dial it in. And they've had equestrian trails out there as well. That's kind of the main thing. I think that's where that really got started. But there are also single track trails. So I'll work with the crew, and we'll anyway. That's what we're doing. So keep October 4th weekend blocked. We won't be going to Turkey. Looks like if everything works out, we're going to be going to Lake Liberty in Guthrie, or just outside of Guthrie. Not too far, just a few miles. So anyway, that's the news. So let's go up and see what we got here. All right. Let's see. Jetty checked in. Jetty Harrison, what's happening? Steven Treester says, miss riding racing. Same, Steven. Missed you last weekend, or I guess a week and a half ago on the weekend, 21st. Hey, back at you, Mike Abernathy. Mike Pickle says, I'm in. What's happening, Michael? Karina Coleman and crew, hello. Debbie Nichols, you glean. I assume Tom's watching over the shoulder. Yo, what's happening? Don Jonathan says, cool. And it's talking about the news for the new venue. Karina says the same thing. Jeremy Coleman says, have no clue where that's at, but it's all about new stuff. Yeah, Jeremy, it's just going to be southwest of Guthrie. Like I said, we've gone through there on a couple of gravel races. It's kind of an isolated little lake in a little community just outside of Guthrie. Pretty neat little venue. The trail's going to be fairly easy. There's not a lot of terrain change. Should be pretty fast. But we've got, they're going to be going out there doing a lot of work and really kind of dialing it in. Not sure that the trail's really ready right now, but they'll make that happen over the next month for sure, and then we'll start publicizing it, talking about it. Bum, bum, bum. Moto T Scrib, Toby says, sweet hometown race day for sure. New trails are awesome for sure, Jennifer Black. Okay. So that's the big news, and I'll try to go ahead and post that up too, just in text. Probably tomorrow. I always say that I'm going to do it right after the show, but then I get sidetracked and I start checking messages, and I never do. So I'll try to do that tomorrow, because I know not everybody's watching this. I'll also get the event calendar changed on oktdd.org, so that'll be changed as well too. Okay. So if there's more comments about that, or anybody wants to check in and talk about that, definitely chime in. And we'll go back to it if we need. Want to move on to this is just a reminder. We've talked about this before. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just stop. We'll come back to this in a second. So Ray says it's rideable now. It is a shared trail and multi-directional, so be courteous. Shared meaning it's a shared trail with equestrian and cyclists. So Greg, it's going to be, the new venue is going to be, it's going to take Turkey's date. It's October 4th. It's going to be Liberty Lake at Guthrie, just southwest of Guthrie. Clint Lock checked in and says the Ponca boys have been working on their trail. What hasn't been weed eated has been sprayed. Come ride. So it looks like Ponca is getting theirs back and going as well too. So, all right. Okay. USAC upgrades renewals. So one thing that we noticed, especially when we did RDR, is we had many people that had expired licenses. It's understandable because the race season has been a really, really strange this year, obviously because of COVID. So a lot of people probably just forgot to renew. Depends on when you renewed, because most of our renewals now are auto renewal. So you don't even really have to do anything. It just auto renews, and then you have to go and fill out a waiver when they drop you an email. But I guess for whatever reason, a lot of you maybe aren't on the auto renewal and then didn't do it for some reason, or maybe you're set up differently. I'm not sure. But we had a lot of people that normally had licenses that were registering as if they were licensed, but their license was expired. And so you need to, if you have a license and you plan on racing and you plan on doing any more of our races, you need to go out and you need to check and make sure your license has been properly renewed. You can use the phone app, or you can just log into USAC with your username and password, and it'll go to your membership or your license, and a button along the left-hand side, and it'll tell you. Another thing we're going to notice was renewals, and I've mentioned this before too. And this was, this is just something, again, that I probably take for granted because I'm so used to doing it, but a lot of you guys don't realize that. So let's say that you are racing one category and you choose to move up. So you're racing novice, you want to move up to 2s, or you're a 2 and you want to move up to a 1. You can do that day of the race. I mean, you can manually move up. That's actually allowed. However, the thing to remember is that after that one day where you choose to race up, you're still required to race in your category. And in order to get proper points, you're supposed to have a proper license. So you then need to follow the procedure to upgrade your license. I think a lot of people assume that just because you race up in a group, so let's say that you're a novice last year, and then this year you just decide to start racing Cat 2. If you just start racing Cat 2, that USAC is automatically going to just move your license to Cat 2. And that's not the way it happens. So what we ended up with, we had several people, probably ended up with like 3, 4, 5 people that we kind of caught at different times. Most of it was inconsequential, and it was an easy fix. But we had people racing at a higher category, but their license actually showed their old lower category. So we had people racing Cat 2 that were still listed as novices. We had, I think, one Cat 1 that was racing, it was still listed as a Cat 2, just because they hadn't gone online. So you have to go online. I assume you can do it from your phone and computer, but I don't know because the apps are different. I always do it from my computer. Typically, it's easier to do it that way. Sometimes the app is a little difficult. But if you're upgrading to a new category, you physically have to go do that on the website, log in. You have to go to the place where it allows to do renewal or upgrades, downgrades, because you can also request a downgrade and see if they give you that as well too, if that's the case. But you have to click on it, follow the procedure. It's pretty simple, but you just have to do it. And then 24 hours or so later, they'll give you an email whether they approve or disapprove that, and then whatever process is necessary then. And then yeah, so you have to do it. It just doesn't happen automatically. So if you're going to upgrade, you have to physically do that. And also, again, make sure that your license is actually current. So I think we had several that had to buy 1 days, even though they thought they had a license at RDR on the 21st, because their license was not valid, and Bike Reg triggered that and said that they didn't have a valid one. So Anyway, so just take care of your licenses and just be aware. Greg Grossands, yeah, Greg says, wow, a new course for me. Yeah, it's a new course for everybody for the most part. I don't know that too many of us have ridden on it. We've ridden on parts of it, like I said, as we've done a section of Land Run blazing through there, and then we did one of the G3 races blazed through there. But we've never actually just stayed out there. It's kind of a neat little place. Mike Pickle says, loving it. Guthrie, another mountain bike race close to home. Yeah, for sure. And it's pretty close to everybody. So, I mean, it's super easy for the Tulsa crew to get down, super easy for, I mean, even pretty easy for me to get down, honestly. I mean, that's only, I don't know, less than 3 hours, 2:45, 2.5, something like that for me. So it's not too bad. And I just caked 35 minutes or so for Oklahoma City. So yeah, definitely not a bad venue, not a bad drive. We're at 26 minutes in. So yeah, so so check this out. Check this fancy new thing out here. See my fancy new phone. So I've been holding off. I've had the same phone for like 2 years, and I was kayaking this weekend, and yeah, phone. My phone still shows that it's in Glen Creek, which is a creek that runs out of the back of Lake Steed. So I'd taken it out of the dry bag and forgot to put it back in, and then I go to get out of the kayak on a bank to go take a pee, and definitely I tipped the kayak and didn't realize the phone flopped in the water until like an hour later. So she sank. So she's still sitting there. But anyway, I don't know. I got a good deal. My contract was almost out, so got a sweet new phone. Got me an LG. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of too fancy for me. I'm not sure what to do with it, but anyway. So yeah, it was an interesting little. I've done pretty good. I've made it almost. I made it 23 months. That's how far I made it, because my phone was on the last month of its contract before I paid my phone off. So that means I made it 23 months without killing a phone. That's almost 2 years. So for me, that's pretty good, because I've killed, man, let's see, I've dropped one on I-44. I've lost one in Arkansas. I lost one. I dropped one and got ran over. I dropped one off the bed of my truck out in front of my house, and I got ran over like 6 times in front of my house. I drowned one in the Buffalo River in Arkansas. Yeah, so the list goes on and on. So, yeah. Let's see. Larry Walcott says, Larry Walcott's talking trash to Jetty Harrison. Says, nice race at Draper, Jetty. I'm coming for you. Kevin Wagner, hey, what's happening? Mike Pickle, we'll post the location later for sure. I will. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You can actually just Google Liberty Lake, and it'll pop up. It's pretty easy to find. In fact, if you saw Alan White's pictures today, he was doing a gravel ride, and their gravel ride went right beside Liberty Lake, and that's where the pictures were that he took. So, Kevin Wagner, the announcement was turkey date. We're going to move the turkey date since we're not having turkey. We're going to keep the day, but we're going to have a new venue. The new venue is in Guthrie at a place called Lake Liberty. More information to come. Alrighty, topic number 5. I think we may have a fairly short day. We are 30 minutes in, and really only 2 topics. The last one will be pretty short. This one might be a little long-winded, but there's not a lot of information here. So And this is the thing too. I can't tell what all these notifications mean, so I keep getting notifications. I don't know what the hell they are because I'm not used to the sounds. COVID. Preparing for the rest of the season. What are we going to do? What's our plan? What's our end run with True to Dirt? And I've had this discussion with my board and individually with each member of the board, just so that we could have some private discussions. I think we kind of cover the gamut. A couple of us are extremely concerned about the way things are progressing and the danger and the safety. Some of us are mid-ground. Some of us are ready to just go do it. And so that makes a good mix. And I just want to kind of give you guys my thoughts on it and my ideas and my plans. So my feeling right now is that I'm like a lot of you. I kind of go up and down. I feel very concerned. And then other times I feel a little bit better about things. And then something happens and I feel less, safe about the way things are progressing. The numbers are progressing at a pretty big rate. Right now, across the board, Oklahoma is not looking good, and that's concerning. We've even had a couple of additional cases here in Hobart, which we have not had in quite some time. One of those even happens to, well, I'm just going to drop it. I'm not going to say that because I haven't seen that information published, and I'm not sure what's publicly available. But I've not been in contact with them. I know one of them that has been infected. Again, that's only 2 additional ones here. I think we are. I think I'm having some trouble on my YouTube here. Oh well, I'm sorry if you guys are. Oh, we've got a couple of people talking. Bryce Nichols and Mark Wells. So hey. Oops. There we go. I think my YouTube's back. It looked like it had a little problem going, but Bryce, welcome, and Mark, welcome. Glad you guys are here. They're checking in on my YouTube, so you kind of see me looking down. I'm looking down at a different screen. That's my YouTube, and I'm looking up here at my Facebook. So yeah, so things are changing, and who knows what's going to happen. We've got a gap. So we've got a gap to see how things play out, to see if things get a little better for us here in Oklahoma. I felt that we handled the RDR pretty well. We did discover some things that I think we feel we probably could do a little better. But I still felt fairly safe, and I think most, if not all, of our riders and racers felt safe. And the guidelines that we had implemented and we followed seemed to work, and everybody respected all the physical distancing. And we'll just kind of play it out and see what happens. So my goal is that we don't know what's going to happen. But at the present time, I'm not willing to just nix our entire season without more information. Now, having said that, if things continue to progress in the direction that they're going and we don't plane out or we don't get better when it comes to number of, the infection rate or the number of positives that we're seeing, we may have to make other decisions. So basically my plan is we're moving forward. We're moving forward with the plans that we are going to have races. But I am also not completely throwing out the possibility that we may have to cancel if things progress to a point where it's not safe. So I'm keeping everything open. I'm keeping my mind open. I'm not, for me it's mission critical that I have to stay very open-minded. I have some opinions about it, but I have to weigh those opinions versus the realities of holding races. And I'm going to work with each individual promoter, and just kind of go from there. So that's my plan. We're moving forward, but we're just going to kind of monitor the situation and see what happens, and we're going to make the best decision at the appropriate times. So we've got some good venues coming up, some venues that are, in my opinion, would be the safest, some fairly safe locations, and that's what I'm looking at. So we'll just kind of see what happens. So let's check in and see. Oops. Susan Young checked in. Hello, Susan. Mike Pickle, pre-reg helps a bunch. It absolutely does. So it helps you, and it also cuts down on the amount of contact for sure. Kevin, unfortunately, I'm not judging by the death rate, and the reason I'm not is because that is not the reactionary point at this point. The reactionary point at this point is the number of positive tests that we're seeing locally in your specific area. If there is a positive test in your space, that's the reactionary thing, not the death rate. So not judging it by the death rate, can't do that. Just not the world we live in right now. Maybe that should be maybe that should be, but that's just not the way it's being decided right now. The decision-making factor is the positive test. If there's a positive test, that's what people are reacting on, and that's what I will react on, because that's right now status quo. Unfortunately, that's just part of the gig. All right. Unless you guys have questions and things of that nature, toss them out there, and I'll jump back up and respond. I'm going to go ahead and cover my my last subject, and then I'll go back up and just chat with you guys. And if there's not a lot of comments or things that you guys want to chat about, we'll roll out and call it a day. So, my crew at Enid sent me a message. Said they've got an event they rescheduled. It's rescheduled for August 15th. So again, we've still got a little bit, but it's not too far away. August 15th, Enid, and it's called Cycling for Scouts. It is a ride. It's not a race. It's a ride. It's just a t-shirt ride type thing. They're going to have I think patches and t-shirts are just what you're going to get for registering. I think it's $30 if you do live. You can come in person. If you come in person, it's $30. It's $10 if you're not comfortable coming out. They are going to have a virtual ride as well. It's $10 for that, and there's instructions on the website. I will try to get that. I think, well, I had that. Let's see if I can get that real quick. Add that link. I got time. We're not crunched for time or anything. I'm gonna post a link real quick to this just so you guys can get to it. It's be easier that way. I'm waiting for something to load so I can copy and paste. Come on. It's there. It's waiting. There we go. We're there. I'm gonna get this guy right there. Copy link address. Paste. Oh, that's not what I want. That one is though. No. That's what we want. Oh, jeez, I was almost there. Oh, this ugly thing. The heck is this stuff? Jeez, come on. All right, there we go. Well, Atlanta, there we go. Cycling for Scouts. So there's a link, and there's a registration link, and there's an information link. They have a virtual, there's instructions for the virtual ride. If you're not comfortable doing it in person, you do it in person. There is a limit on, there is a registration limit of 250, I believe. They're going to have 5 paved routes, 2 miles, 16, 38, 50, and 56. So plenty of places for you to come and bring your road bike and get a little road t-shirt right in. But they also have a 54-mile gravel route as well, and that seems pretty interesting. Patches and t-shirts, August 15th, Cycling for Scouts, Enid, Oklahoma. There you go. So check out the link and just see what you think. Kevin Wagner, correct. No turkey. Turkey, they canceled on us last week. Just a variety of constraints. There's a lot of constraints with Turkey Mountain permitting, licensing, and all the things. There's just a lot. There's a lot of it. There's a lot more to it than the normal venue. So they just felt it was not worth the risk to go to all the effort to promote. Money to lock down all the things that they needed to do up front, and then turn out and possibly not even be able to get a permit from the city of Tulsa and the Tulsa Parks and Rec. So yes, so Turkey was canceled. We've replaced that date with a new venue, Lake Liberty in Guthrie, and more information to come on that. Jerry Puckett chimed in, says we are still doing Thunderbird Thursdays. There you go. So Thunderbird Thursdays, you want to get a little intensity in. It's really going to be intensity, especially considering this heat. But hey, Jerry, so what are you guys doing for the time frame? I assume you're doing a short track type thing. Are you guys doing 30 minutes, 35, 40, 45 minutes? What are you doing? 45 minutes and one more lap, something like that? Just let me know out of curiosity. But that's T-Birds, I believe 7 o'clock now. Normal parking lot. Very different. Dapper says, I'd say I've never lost a phone, but if I did, I'd lose mine tomorrow. So I won't say it. Oh, I lose mine a lot. I like dump them in the lake, or I'd like drop them off the bed of my truck and they get smashed on the highway. So I don't like lose them. I literally I ruin mine. It's a whole different thing. And as well too, so Daniel just chimed in. So Thursday's a big day. So not only do we have Thunderbird Thursday, but we have Thermal Thursday. And Thermal Thursday is Dirt Crits in Wichita Falls. So Wichita, the Wichita Facebook page updates, and I believe it's at 6 p.m. for you guys. So both of those are great. I've done both of them. I haven't done the T-Bird one yet. I might try to sneak down Thursday and see how bad you guys can smash me. I've had no intensity other than the race on the 21st at RDR, but we'll see how it goes. I may consider it. I'll have to smash empty natty cans on my head. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Jerry Puckett, 7 p.m. for the Thunderbird Thursday, 45 minutes plus one. So, all right, cool. I figured as much, but I just wanted to check. So yeah, we'll definitely get some heat acclimation. It's supposed to cool a little bit though. I think today is the worst day. I don't know where you guys are at, but it was 108 today. When I rode at 4 o'clock. I rode from 4 to like 5:10 or so. I just did a little easy gravel route, and it was 100. It was 106 when I rode, and it was not pleasant. But anyway, just start getting your acclimation, and then when it, out now, I mean, if you can get out and get 30 minutes an hour when it's 100, do it. It's the best thing for you. And then when you go and it drops down to like 91, 92, 93, that's still pretty damn hot. But if you've done some 100-degree training, you're going to be okay during the low 90s. But if you don't get out and get that acclimation, then you're going to suffer hard if you go out and get in 90 plus degree weather. So, all righty, ladies and gents, unless there is anything that you guys can't live without, or any comments that you need to toss in pretty quickly, then I'm going to check out. I'm going to check my notes real quick. I think all my notes are solid. I haven't missed anything. I'm going to go real quick and see if I missed any comments. I think I'm solid on the comments. So unless you guys have anything popping in the next couple seconds, I'm going to roll out. So again, I just want to review OEF meeting, July 2nd, Draper Trailhead, 7 p.m. Good stuff. Schedule change, big issue. Not big issue, but big news. Turkey Mountain, we're going to keep the same date. We're going to move, and we're going to have a new venue on that October 4th date. Lake Liberty, Guthrie, Ray Trammell, Justin Fortney, Tourism Department from Guthrie and the city of Guthrie, all on board. I'm going to make that happen. I did a reminder for you guys. If you are upgrading, upgrade your, if you're racing and you upgraded, make sure that you properly upgraded your USAC license online. It just doesn't happen automatically. If you're not sure about whether or not you have renewed your license this year and you plan on racing, go out, get online, whether it's on your phone app or whether it's on the computer. Make sure that you have a current updated license. I talked about our plan for the season, and that is our plan is that I'm planning to move forward until conditions tell us that we can't do it. So I have to plan forward. I'm not canceling now just to cancel because of what ifs. I'm planning forward. I'm planning as if we're going to have a season. If conditions change and we can't, I'm fully willing to cancel the season or the races or whatever. But I'm planning to move forward, and that's just the way it's going to be until conditions tell me that we can't. And then the last thing that I talked about was the Cycling for Scouts event, Enid, August 15th, virtual ride if you're not comfortable being around people, in-person ride, and multiple road distances, as well as a 54-mile gravel distance. So that's the synopsis of this week. So Jeremy Coleman says, cheers with 2 beers. Chink. Jetty says, thanks, Corey. I got a ride now. Stay ahead of Larry. There you go. Go get on your trainer. Bill Hannigan says, have you decided on drop races for the series, or will that be decided as races unfold? Right now, as it stands, we have 8 races. And for me, I'm just going to go ahead and leave the drops at 3. And that means that you have to have 5 races minimum. And that matches also the 5 races that will count. So I won't adjust that unless things change. So that's the plan for the drop races. We'll keep it at 3 and count the 5 races. All righty. Excellent. Thank you guys, gals, for checking in. I will try to post more information tomorrow, just about some of the things we talked about tonight, specifically the new venue, and we'll rock and roll from there. Larry Walcott says, "Thanks, Corey. Get your costumes ready for Friday night in Medicine Park." I already started working on that. I've got a little work to do, but I've already got a couple pieces of the outfit, so. I'm there. I'm there with you. All righty. Love you guys. Till next week. We'll see you. All right. Let's see.